video by Stan's Auto Repair. This is part 2, and today is replacing the power steering pressure hose and the power steering return line. Now, this hose here that I'm pointing to, this one here, that is your return line, and then this one underneath it is your high pressure line. You can get both on Rock Auto for relatively cheap, depending if your Jeep is a right hand or left hand. You need to make sure because it does differ. And your high pressure line runs this way, comes up here, and then runs here, and then your return line is this one right back here that is held on by a little hose clamp. So you just remove that hose clamp, pull that off, and you have that piece. So in order to get the high pressure line, we're going to need to remove the return line, which is kind of going to be difficult, but you can get a wrench and come in this direction here. So in a sense, you would come in this direction, and then you can actually get at the high pressure line this way. But I'm going to go ahead and kind of get my little screwdriver that I got, a little flathead, excuse me, and scrape away as much crud as I can around there, and then give them a good spray with PB Blaster. And then same thing with this upper one. To get better access to that, you do want to remove your electrical fan here. I already have it removed because I got a previous video on replacing the water pump, which I have yet to get to. So technically this video is a part 2. So I'm going to go ahead and start working on that. I'll let you know the size of the wrenches once I get there. Hopefully I have the sizes. If not, I'll have to purchase them. All right, folks. To actually get really good access, I had to remove the power steering pump, which you just turn this, as you can see, through here, and these bolts here are 13 millimeter. You will need to disconnect right there, and then disconnect the hose that's right back there. I am going to have to get a new reservoir because the hose was so stuck on there when I was trying to get it off gently, where it connects onto actually broke. Now, here's the, this is the return line. That's where it broke. As you can see, it's still in there. This was the easiest part to get out. And then this one was not bad at all. But this one down here is where it actually, the high pressure line actually rusted and broke, as you can see. And this is 18 millimeter right here. This is an 18 millimeter. That's what size these are. I believe they're all 18 millimeter. But there's my 18 millimeter socket. So if yours is as rusted as this one was, you're definitely gonna have problems. I literally had to get, where'd it go? A breaker bar to do it, because I was trying to do it with trying to get it off with this, since the hose part of it actually broke off, and it actually broke that. That's how seized it was in there, so I had to use a breaker bar to get it out. But disassemble is the exact same. You do want to, for better access, remove your fan and your air box. While I'm here, I'm going to see about drilling these bolts out so we can actually get the air box to stay in. Wherever this vehicle come from, I will say it was a rust belt. I'm about to do a Carfax on it to see its history of where it come from, because There's just so much stuff rusted in here. It's crazy. But I am definitely going to be rust proofing most of the bolts, putting anti-seize on the ones that do it, and so forth. I do want to thank everybody for subscribing. Please like the video, and because that definitely lets YouTube know that my videos are worth watching. Comment below any questions or anything that that made this easier. Please comment down below and let me know what you think. And beyond that, I'm going to end this part here. This will be part 2. The first part 1 was the water pump, which I still got to get parts to finish that. But in the meantime, I'm cleaning, sandpapering around this. I'm going to do some cleaning on this here too, on the steer box. And then the next video is going to be removing the alternator. I'm going to see if I can, the alternator works, but I'm going to see if I can actually free up the, where the belt goes, because that's kind of stiff. So I don't know if debris got in it or what, but that will be part 3. Whew. And then anything else, probably going to be doing a valve cover change on here, so that will be another video coming. Hopefully I don't have to take the intake off, but if I'm gonna get looking, but if I do gotta take the intake off, I'll do a separate video on that. That way, if any of you are actually trying to get a video on a specific thing, like I say, you want to see how to do the valve cover, or do the intake, I'll have separate videos on each one. But as I'm looking here, you can see this fuel rail is pretty rusty. It's even missing its cap for the pressure. So that tells me that this fuel rail has not been moved. I mean, look at that quick connect there. That's bad. So I really don't want to touch much of anything that I don't have to, because typically stuff like this, when it's this bad, if you touch it, you move it, it breaks. Exactly what happened with this here. It broke. But as you can see, there's 3 bolts for the power steering. Get that off. That's also your tensioner, belt tensioner actually hooks to this. Alright, thank you all for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment below, and remember, if it's broke, fix it.